Welcome to this video on body fluids and circulation. In this video, we will learn about the cardiac cycle, ECG, double circulatory system and disorders of the heart. Let's study the cardiac cycle. It involves rhythmic contractions and relaxations, taking 0.8 seconds per cycle. Let's now understand the phases of the cardiac cycle. During joint diastole, lasting 0.4 seconds, all four chambers of the heart, both the atria and both ventricles, are relaxed. This is a resting phase where blood flows passively into the right and left atria from the vena cava and pulmonary veins, respectively. Since the AV valves are open, blood also flows passively from the atria to the ventricles. This phase accounts for the major filling of the ventricles without any muscular effort. Next comes atrial systole, which lasts about 0.1 seconds. During this phase, the atria contract, pushing the remaining 30% of blood into the already partially filled ventricles. This short phase ensures that the ventricles are completely filled before they contract. Following atrial systole, the ventricles begin to contract. This is ventricular systole, which lasts for approximately 0.3 seconds. During this phase, the AV valves close, preventing backflow into the atria, and the semilunar valves open, allowing blood to be pumped from the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery, towards the lungs, and from the left ventricle into the aorta, towards the rest of the body. This contraction is initiated by the impulse from the AV node, conducted via the bundle of His and Purkinje fibers. After systole, the ventricles relax. This phase overlaps with the next joint diastole. As the ventricles relax, the semilunar valves close to prevent backflow from the arteries. Meanwhile, the AV valves gradually open, allowing passive ventricular filling to begin again. This marks the end of one cardiac cycle and the beginning of the next. In one complete cycle of 0.8 seconds, the heart pumps blood efficiently through the systemic and pulmonary circuits, maintaining continuous circulation. During each cardiac cycle, each ventricle pumps out around 70 milliliters of blood, which is known as the stroke volume. The stroke volume multiplied by the heart rate, the number of beats per minute, gives us the cardiac output. The cardiac output is defined as the volume of blood pumped by each ventricle per minute. In a healthy individual, the average cardiac output is about 5,000 milliliters or 5 liters of blood. The body has the ability to adjust both the stroke volume and heart rate, which in turn affects the cardiac output. Heart sounds include lub from AV valve closure and dub from semilunar valve closure. Let's learn about the electrocardiograph or ECG. The P wave represents depolarization of the atria. The QRS complex represents depolarization of the ventricles, initiating contraction. The T wave represents ventricular repolarization. ECG measures the heart's electrical activity and helps detect abnormalities. Now, let's understand double circulation. Pulmonary circulation carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs and oxygenated blood back to the left atrium. Systemic circulation delivers oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to the body and returns deoxygenated blood to the right atrium. Next, let's study the regulation of cardiac activity. The heart is myogenic, able to self-regulate through nodal tissue. The medulla oblongata controls heart function via the autonomic nervous system. Sympathetic nerves increase heart rate and strengthen contractions. Parasympathetic signals decrease heart rate and slow conduction. Adrenal hormones like epinephrine amplify cardiac output during stress. Finally, let's learn about disorders of the circulatory system. Hypertension is blood pressure consistently above 140 by 90 mmHg. It silently damages the heart, brain, and kidneys. Coronary artery disease or CAD, also called atherosclerosis, occurs when fat, calcium, and cholesterol narrow the coronary arteries, restricting blood flow. Angina pectoris causes chest pain due to inadequate oxygen supply to the heart muscle. Cardiac arrest, also known as sudden cardiac arrest, is when the heart stops beating suddenly. Heart attack occurs when the blood flow to the heart is blocked, causing damage or death to the heart muscle. Heart failure is when the heart cannot pump enough blood to meet the body's needs. It differs from cardiac arrest or heart attack and usually develops gradually. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for NEET. Thank you.